Hey guys, it's Connor here from Connor O'Shea Fitness. Today I'm going to go through the technique I use to teach people how to do the deadlift correctly. So the deadlift is one of the best exercises you can do in the gym. It teaches you how to hip hinge, which is one of the most important things you need for athletic performance. It also uses your glutes, your hamstrings and your entire back, and improves your grip strength also. So before we start actually doing the deadlift with the barbell, I use a stick and teach people how to hinge properly. So with a stick or a pipe, you're going to set up 3 points of contact between your upper back, your tailbone and your head. And you're going to slightly bend the knees and push the hips back to the wall behind you. When you're in this bottom position, you should feel your hamstrings lighting up underneath the movement. And then you're going to stand up and squeeze your glutes. So really you're just focusing on going through this movement and keeping them 3 points of contact all the way throughout it. And so generally we'll do this for the first 2 to 5 minutes, make sure the person is getting comfortable with the actual movement pattern we're going to be doing on the ground. Starting with the conventional deadlift from the floor, setting yourself up, you want to put your feet so they're shoulder distance apart. And when you look down, you want the bar to be directly over the loop of the lace. So when you're set up in this position, then you're going to use the hinging movement we just went through, pushing the hips back. And when you're setting up, you're grabbing the bar so your thumbs are touching the outsides of each leg. And you want to make sure that your shoulders are roughly above the bar, your knees are roughly above the heels. And this is your setting up position. Pull the shoulders back and down, and stand, squeeze the glutes, keep the weight close to the body as you hinge and lower the weight back onto the ground. Stand, lock out, squeeze the glutes. Again, keep the weight close to the body as you lower the weight back on the ground. Some of the common mistakes you see with the deadlift is, first of all, rounding the back when you're lifting. And that's just simply the person is switching off and getting out of that hinge position at the start of the movement. So you really want to focus on keeping the hinge position and pulling the shoulders back and down, driving through the heels and standing up. Next mistake people make, the bum shoots up first and then they actually lift the weight all the way up. So the bum will shoot up first because you're not sitting back on the heels enough to drive through the heels and lift the weight all the way up. And the last one is too much of a squat. So when you squat down, knees get in the way, and we have to push the bar out of the way, get it onto the ground, and obviously that's going to put a lot of unwanted stress in the back. So again, when you're pushing or when you're lowering the weight, you want to slightly break at the knees and push the hips back to avoid the knees getting in the way.